You talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So big news out of Hallis Hall today as a report out of Chicago is this. Robert Quinn is absent from Bears camp. Ian Rapoport of NFL Network tells us that pass rusher Robert Quinn is not expected to be present for the team's mandatory minicamp that began today. Quinn is away from the team, training on his own. Obviously, this is a huge development. Robert Quinn was one of those guys, especially after Khalil Mack got shipped off to the Los Angeles Chargers. A lot of Bears fans, a lot of national media, including myself, were wondering what is going to happen with Robert Quinn. Before I go any further in this episode of Kick on the Mic, I want to say to you guys this. This could mean absolutely nothing. Maybe he's just away from the team because he sincerely just wants to train on his own, right? But there has been a lot of rumors regarding the future of Robert Quinn, once again, especially after Khalil Mack got shipped off. And if that is the case, if Robert Quinn truly wants a trade, it's understandable. He's 32 years old, right? He's looking to go to a contender where he can win now. Maybe he doesn't want to be a part of the rebuild, which to me, that's why it didn't make really any sense to try to hold on to Robert Quinn. Obviously, yes, he's coming off a really, really good season where he had 18 sacks, right? But he's 32 years old. He's looking to win right now, and he doesn't really fit the plans that we have going on. Obviously, the Chicago Bears, I'll say it, we are in a rebuild. That's why I was hoping that they would possibly try to find a trade partner leading up to this last NFL draft. Obviously, it didn't work out that way, and now we are here. Once again, I'll repeat this until I'm blue in the face. This could mean absolutely nothing. Maybe he's just training away from the team because that's what he wants to do. Veterans do that all the time. They train away from the team. They come later in the offseason, and then everything is back to normal. Obviously, when they asked Matt Eberflus about it, he basically stated, we're not talking about that as an organization. So obviously, that's just an in-house thing, right? They're not going to talk about their conversations with Robert Quinn. If there's any conversations with Robert Quinn, obviously, Robert Quinn loves the city of Chicago and the organization. He's expressed interest about playing in Chicago long-term, but at the same time, things can change. Maybe when Ryan Poles came in, maybe Ryan Poles and him had a conversation stating their plans. Maybe he doesn't want to be a part of those plans, and that is absolutely fine. I just wish that if he does want to be traded, if the rumors are true that he doesn't want to be in Chicago, I wish they would have got it done sooner. But all in all, I want you guys to realize that the Chicago Bears still have the leverage in terms of Robert Quinn, right? We signed him to a 5-year, $70 million contract 2 years ago. There's still 3 years left on that contract. So the Chicago Bears, they really don't want to trade him, or if they don't like a deal that a team is offering for Robert Quinn, they can sit back and let this play out. But at the same time, knowing Ryan Poles and how classy of a guy he actually is, there is a good chance that he will do everything in his power to try to get Robert Quinn in the best situation as possible, because that's just the type of guy you can tell Ryan Poles actually is. Another thing that I want to add, I am all in favor for trading Robert Quinn, but for the right price. I don't want to be lowball here. I think Robert Quinn right now, especially coming off the season that he just had with 18 sacks, I think we can at least get a second and maybe a later round pick, like a 5th or a 6th rounder for next year's NFL draft. And I would absolutely take that deal. In terms of contract situation, we may have to pay some of his salary in order to trade him. I know it's kind of a hefty contract, but it does make a lot of sense for the Chicago Bears to possibly ship off Robert Quinn. Once again, he's 32 years old. His contract is kind of expensive, and that may be the tricky part in shipping off Robert Quinn. He just doesn't fit what we are looking for right now. And that's not me saying that Robert Quinn wouldn't fit in this Matt Eberflus defense. He would absolutely be a perfect fit in the Chicago Bears defense. But in terms of plans and what we are looking for as a team, it makes too much sense not to trade Robert Quinn, right? So, like I said, this has nothing to do with Robert Quinn hating the Chicago Bears organization or hating the city of Chicago. I think he would love to stay in Chicago, but at the end of the day, I think what's best for the Chicago Bears and Robert Quinn is to, in fact, trade him, and I think that would be best for both sides. But as of right now, Robert Quinn is absent from Bears camp, and just like I just mentioned earlier in the podcast, Ian Rapoport has stated that he is going to stay away from the team and he will train on his own. So as more information comes, I will bring it right here to you guys on Keek on the Mic. Let me know your initial reaction about this news down below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. But before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for our all-new Bears podcast right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic.